Hi kiddos, welcome to week 2. Let me start by saying we are so proud of you for all the work you all completed on Thursday. Please keep up that good work. All right, so here's how today's lesson is going to go. Same thing, we have 3 steps. So first we're going to start with this video. That's what we're doing right now. Your second step is going to be an activity, and I'm going to walk you through that because it's in this same document and it's on page 3. And then step 3 is going to be another exit ticket, and that is going to be a Google form, just like last week. All right, so let's get to it. So we started last week talking about what is a system, okay? And a system is 2 graphs. So now we're going to talk about how do we actually create those graphs. Now, since we're doing everything virtually, we're going to show you an online computer program to how to do it. And then when we're back in school, we'll show you how to do it by hand. All right, so our first step is to label our equation. So remember, a system is 2 equations. So in order to keep things uniform, I need to label it. So I'm going to write in equation 1 and equation 2. All right, now if you remember from our last unit, this is our format, right? And in order to graph, it always has to be in that format so we can identify our slope and y-intercept. Now our m is our slope. So for step 2 here, I need to identify my slope. So slope goes next to the x. I don't include the x, but it's just by itself. So in this case, I only see a negative there. So what number goes with that negative? That's a -1. All right, that's how I get my slope. Now my y-intercept is this one. And that's the one by itself with no number. So in this case, for equation 1, my y-intercept is 1. And in equation 2, my y-intercept is -4. Okay? So I need to make sure to remember that information. All right, so now we would graph it normally by hand. But you guys don't have graphing paper, so we're going to show you this cool graphing program. So we're going to go to desmos.com. So when you're on your computer, that's what you're going to type in. Now, once I get here, I'm going to hit Start Graphing. All right, and now it's loading. So now I see here, this is where I'm going to type in my first equation. So my first equation was 2/3 x plus 1. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to type in 2/3 x plus 1. All right, that's my first equation. Now I go to the line below, number 2, and now I'm going to type in my second equation. Our second equation was -1x minus 4. So -1x minus 4. All right, so now I have my 2 graphs. This is my system. All right, so where is my solution? My solution is where they intersect. So in this case, they intersect at -3, -1. So I would say my solution to the system is -3, -1. That's the coordinate. Or we can write it as x equals -3 and x equals -1. Okay? All right, let's look at number 2. So number 2 says which graph matches the system y equals x minus 3 and y equals -1/4 x plus 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a table. All right, so let's say equation 1 is y equals x minus 3, and equation 2 all right, so just like we did above, I want us to identify our slopes, and then we're going to identify our y-intercepts. All right, so our slope for this one is the number in front, so our slope is 1. And in this one, our slope is -1/4. Okay, here I have a y-intercept of -3, that's the number by itself, and a y-intercept of +2. All right, if I want to see what it looks like on the graph, again, I'm going to do the same thing I just did. Let me erase. Oh. Okay, so what I'm going to write in is x minus 3. Oops. X minus 3. And the other one was -1/4 x. And what was our y-intercept? +2. Okay, what is my solution? My solution was 4, 1. All right, so let's write that in somewhere. Our solution is 4, 1. So now I want to see which one matches that. So 4, 1. So I see a solution here. What is this solution? This solution is 3, 3. Is that it? No. Let's check this one. This solution is 4, 1. And that matches our solution, right? So that means the graphs that match this system must be choice B. There's one more way we can check that. If you remember, we can check our y-intercepts. So our y-intercept for the first one, equation 1, was -3. And I see right here that this goes through -3. So that means this line must be equation 1. All right, so this is equation 1. And then our y-intercept should match for the other one. Let me get a different color. Our y-intercept in this one was 2, so that means the line for equation 2 should be here. So equation 2 crosses through our y-intercept of 2, and that's another way you can check if you're not checking from the solution. All right, so that means choice B matches the system. All right, if you have any questions, make sure to type them in because we are answering them. But also you can tune in for office hours today, and that link will be posted on Google Classroom. All right, so what you're going to do next after this video ends is you are going to complete the same thing that we just did. If you look on this page, page number 2, this is your guided example. So these are your steps. So if you get confused, you just follow these steps, or you can come back and watch the video again and follow the video. All right, so these are your steps. Right here is a blank space. That's where you're going to be typing it in. So if you look on page 3, you'll see that the first one is done for you. The second one is not done. You are going to be typing in your answers in these blank spaces here. All right, so again, what are you doing? You're following this step. Here's your guided example. And you are going to be typing in your answers on page 3 of this packet. All right, so what you're going to do right now is you're going to exit the video and you're going to click and you're going to open the document. The document is called Unit 5, Week 2 Materials. So go ahead and find that and get started on page number 3. See you guys in office hours. Bye.